Hello, and welcome to Admit One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole. I'll get it right one day. Rabbit Hole Media.
Sorry, it's got a wonk on.
Not on camera, Kristian.
Sorry.
Evening, all.
Sorry.
I'm here joined today, as usual, by Kristian Lasham.
Hello, I've got a wonk on.
It's gone so wrong so quickly. Right, am I the only one who's going to be... Yes, hello, everybody in chat. Hope you're all well.
And also the man we like to call Dad, Richard Hill.
I am the daddy. Oh, God. Jack's already gone. That's it. We're done.
You wait till I tell you the nickname that Caden came up with Rich for today.
Go on then. You can't say that and then...
I'm hoping Caden's going to say it. I'm hoping he's going to have the guts
What's going on?
Re-roll titles start again. We've made that joke too many times that I think we have to leave it at least 6 months before we can do it again. Because I think the best one is when we just
just what if
reread the chat.
Yeah.
Daddy, no. I don't like that.
Neither do I. Don't worry, I will never call you Daddy Hole.
Even just doing it just then.
I might.
Nightmares.
Of course, we are here to talk about... Oh, no, I haven't done the rigmarole. This is Admit One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. If you like what you're doing is watching us. You can follow us on Twitter at rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube where you can see us anytime that you wish. You can subscribe...
Oh, God.
You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can subscribe to multiple different podcast services on around the internet, maybe eventually sometime.
Indeed.
And now... Why is Spider-Man whispering in Rich's ear? And now you can follow us on Instagram at rabbithole_media_UK and on TikTok at Rabbit Hole Media for all the behind-the-scenes bits. Tits and bits.
Even that?
Bits and tits, oh God! It's happening! Today's the day. Today's the day where we all just go insane and kill each other, I think. Live on air. There's live on air. If you'd like to support us, head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk for a wide range of merchandise that recently got wider. And finally, if you're watching us live on Twitch and are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month. Please find it within your hearts to give that membership to us. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it goes a very long way in helping us bring you the shows that you love. And what in particular will it bring you, Kristian?
If you get us to 10 active subscribers on Twitch, we are planning and we are going to make our scripted high production value rundown, analysis and reenactment of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. And again, I've been saying this week on week because we're not lying. If you get us to 10 active subscribers on Twitch, we will do this. We've got plans, we've got ideas, we've got maybe a teaser coming as well, just to prove how genuine we are.
Is that a teaser of a teaser?
Kind of.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're gonna.
No, it's a proof of concept. They exist. They exist. The proof of concept exists.
We are not doing a trailer for a trailer. Don't worry.
I think we should, though.
When the time's right, we will. But generally, we haven't even finalized all the details yet, and it's still already the best thing we've ever come up with. So, if you haven't subscribed already and consider doing so, now is the time. And tell your friends.
Indeed. Of course, we are here to talk about the miserable, the long, the unnecessary Spider-Man 3. What is everybody's general thoughts? Let's start with Daddy Hole. Can you release the pre-viz animatics? No. There will be no pre-viz animatics. This will be live action.
I've now got ideas for once.
Oh, lordy. What have you done, Sam?
Many things that are wrong. So my first note, literally out of...
been shot. With airsoft. It looks like it's been absolutely attacked.
No one on the cameras
airsoft.
can see that.
I'm showing you two. I don't
Okay,
care.
great. News just in. Jack doesn't care about you. Yeah, my first note on this is too long. It's too long.
It is very long, and I think the problem comes down to it's not too. For me, it's not too long. As in, the length of the movie is fine. Like there are many movies I've watched that are about that length or longer.
Yeah,
but for me, obviously,
yeah.
But There's so much in here I couldn't give a flying fuck about. It just feels so long.
I think we had this exact discussion like a week ago about something else where a film can be long in terms of runtime but feel short if it's done correctly.
A film can be short.
And a film can be short but feel long if it's done badly. This one falls into it's long and feels even longer because it's done badly. Like, it's badly paced. There's a lot of stuff flying around that don't really make sense. It bounces and is trying to do like 3 or 4 different plot lines at once. None of them overly well, I don't think.
No, there is one that was clearly the intent. Well, carry on. Sorry. I'll get to
and
that.
I think that just makes it feel even that, because it is like 2 hours 20 minutes or something, so it is a long run
including
time.
credits and everything, but still, even so.
It is a long run time, but because it's not doing anything to keep the pace going in that run time, it feels even longer. It feels really slow. So I agree, it's too long for me in every sense of the word. I think the best way of summarizing this movie is what Camilla said after we watched it, which, and I quote almost verbatim, "No wonder I didn't remember that one."
I will say, as much as I say it's too long and everything, it's a perfectly fine movie.
Is it?
It's all right. It's got some good action and bits and pieces.
There are elements
bad
of
things
it.
about
That's fine. Yeah, I agree.
It has
I
some
can
good
agree with that.
elements. As a finished product, it is what not to do 101 about everything from every element. There is a plot that Sam Raimi clearly wanted to do, and that was the Spider-Man stuff. Obviously, the Sandman stuff.
Yep.
That was clearly where he wanted to go, but Sony, as we know, they're fucking useless and hopeless with everything, to the point where they don't even own James Bond anymore. So this is all they have, and it's frightening for me as a Marvel fan. But anyway, clearly just went, you need Venom. You need some form of Goblin again. You need some form of this. You need some form of that.
Well, with Goblin, it's that was an overarching story.
An overarching story they needed to, as it was the last one. Well, I feel like as it was the last one, they needed to wrap up what was going on with Harry.
It wasn't meant to be the last one.
Was it not?
No.
I didn't know that.
No, Spider-Man 4 was absolutely meant to happen, to the point where there were storyboards, there were scripts.
So was Amazing Spider-Man 3. And then Kevin Feige came along.
There was a lot more that was meant to happen with that universe.
What was 4 supposed to be on it then?
So it was going to open. There was a cold open with Bruce Campbell as Mysterio.
Why is Bruce Campbell in each of these films, by the way?
Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi made the Evil Dead.
Yeah, okay. Just because you like someone doesn't mean you put him in each film as a different character each time. And
Nathan Fillion is in everything James Gunn's ever made.
That's fair. I can't argue that one.
And I'm on every show Jack has ever done.
That's true. That's 100%
That's
true.
not actually even slightly true.
Because he's Sam Raimi's bitch. Yeah, fair enough.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's in Doctor Strange, but I'll kind of love it. But yeah, he was meant to make that cameo. He was meant to be... and it was meant to be Vulture. Was the main villain.
Okay.
Yeah, Vulture. And I believe they wanted to do like Carnage or something as well.
Right, okay.
So basically, Sony don't know how to change up the ideas, because everything they do is just the same again. We'll get to that in 2 weeks' time, specifically. But yeah, there was so much... Get rid of everything Venom, because Topher Grace is not good.
Nope.
The Venom... Why did... Venom either just sounded like Topher Grace or just squealed.
Are we going to do that more in the spoiler section?
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. I'll get into that properly.
I do agree.
Oh, the lizard was supposed to be in 4 as well, I think. But again,
stuffing it with 10,000 fucking villains.
But yeah, this is why it never happened, because Sam Raimi was just like, nah, I'm not doing this. But to be fair, if the rumours for No Way Home are true, I wouldn't be surprised if we then get Spider-Man 4 as well.
Possibly.
With Tobey Maguire.
Oh.
It would depend on what they're allowed to do and how the licensings work and what they... I do think that going forward now...
Sony can do what they want. They own the rights to Spider-Man.
Yeah, so we've had this discussion before, because that's only right in theory to a degree, because there is a licensing agreement. So that will only come down to the clauses of that licensing agreement with Disney right now. So Sony can do what they want to a degree, but there will absolutely be a certain case of, you can't do this, this, and this. Otherwise, you can't be as part of our universe. And I think that's how they can...
Well, yeah, but it wouldn't be part of the universe. It'll be a different universe, wouldn't it?
Possibly. Yeah, that's a good point.
That could be where all the villain movies they're trying to make
I've got a
pipe
funny
up.
feeling where they're at right now, though. I think Disney have a lot more control than what we think right now. I think that's how they've managed to get to the agreements they've got and how we're seeing the properties doing what they're doing. I can't imagine how. In my head, I can't see how either of the parties would have agreed to it in the way.
But how can Disney stop Sony?
They can't.
That's the thing, is that if they
literally, that's the way these deals work. They bought the rights.
Well, yeah, okay. So, but what I'm trying to say, I might be not explaining myself well here. So, yeah, Sony have the rights for Spider-Man as a film property.
Yeah,
yeah,
and they can within that they can essentially do what they like.
But Disney have a licensing agreement with Sony to use that character and that.
They have a licensing agreement to use Tom Holland's version of that character.
Okay, well, how have they managed to then get Alfred Molina and all this other stuff?
Well, that would be because Sony are involved.
Yeah, Sony are involved, but they're still part of moving into that franchise. So the only way that would happen still, and the fact that Disney are bringing their characters across, there will be a licensing agreement that says we are allowed to use this and this as part of our thing, because Disney are making money off having Alfred Molina and having these characters. So there absolutely is a crossover there. For any of us to assume we know what that is.
No.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So it's absolutely plausible, and it is absolutely plausible that contract that they've come to does say that Disney have, as part of it, if we're doing this in return, we won't do this. That's just kind of how contracts
it's
work.
possible.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way it's set up, is that we'll work together doing this, we'll keep using this version of the thing, we'll have these characters going in, we'll let you use these characters, you will let us use these characters for our things, in return we won't do this, we will do that, etc, 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 from both parties. What those details are, who knows? But I just think at this point, trying to assume what that could be is just until we see No Way Home.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Who knows? Because all sorts of curveballs could come out during that film. All sorts of curveballs.
Yeah, and Simon makes a good point of Alfred Molina is not going to show up in any other Marvel films, which is a fair point.
Almost certainly, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this is a Sony movie.
Yeah.
It's not... So that's how those characters are showing up. It's a Sony movie. They can literally do what they want with this movie. Well, not this one in particular, because obviously it is MCU.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they definitely can't just.
I would assume.
I know you're throwing the term around, do what they want, as opposed to, because they absolutely can't. Because otherwise, if they did what they want, they could easily fuck up everything Disney are doing, and they wouldn't let that happen. So there are limitations. I know what you mean, but there will be limitations, and we just can't know the details of that.
For sure, but that's what I mean. Within the context, Disney had absolutely no say over Venom,
of course not.
Over Into the Spider-Verse.
A lot better if it did.
Or Into the Spider-Verse. So they can make other Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, of course. But then don't forget, Into Spider-Verse was done before the new agreement, for one.
Before the new agreement, yeah, absolutely. But they are doing Into the Spider-Verse 2.
They are doing that.
Which is obviously post-agreement. And that agreement was... It's weird because it's MCU, so this agreement is specific to Tom Holland's Spider-Man as opposed to Spider-Man as a whole. So... Again, there's no way we can know, obviously, but you would assume in theory they could just turn around and make other Spider-Man movies with other actors.
Absolutely, in theory they could, yeah. I don't see why they couldn't either, but I feel
they wouldn't.
My feeling on the situation is Disney clearly have such big plans. I just can't imagine the agreement being... I think it's probably why the original agreement broke down, is because Disney wanted more. So I think that's how they've settled it, is that Disney do have more of a... kind of controlling factor in
I would assume so, because Sony must know they're dog shit.
And yeah, exactly. If we said this at the time this all happened, it'd be stupid for Sony not to just go, okay, fine, because this is their biggest property at the moment.
But one of the best Spider-Man movies, possibly the best Spider-Man movie in my opinion, is annoyingly a Sony one. Into the Spider-Verse.
Agree. Well, there are only Sony Spider-Man movies, but I see what you mean. But that's because the person who fucks it up had very little to do with it, and that is the useless cretin called Avi Arad. Yeah.
But did you see the thing that came out this week about someone at Sony was saying about how when they first had their meeting with Kevin Feige about how they wanted to use Spider-Man, he was really upset about what they were planning on doing.
Something I didn't actually look into that.
It was the I can't remember her name, but it was the one. It's a woman who runs Sony.
I have no idea. What was it? I don't know.
I can't remember her name, but basically, because when the do you remember the Sony hack?
Yes.
That happened and that everything fucking leaked.
Yeah.
There was basically a load of emails from Kevin Feige going through you need to fix The Amazing Spider-Man 2, because he saw it early and was just like, gave them like a book, Order of the Phoenix length book about everything you need to change. And it was just like, all this stuff to do with, you haven't seen it, but there's loads of, we'll get to it more specifically when we get, but there's so much shit that's just, why is it here?
Right.
I don't care.
Okay.
They tied so much to being like Peter Parker specifically, and it was like, well, the whole point is that it's meant to be a random kid. It could be anyone, but Peter has chosen to do this, not that it could only be, blah, 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 blah. We'll get into that.
So even with all of the changes and everything, it was still...
No, because they didn't change anything.
Oh, right, okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, they didn't change it. They didn't. Bearing in mind, this was post-Avengers Kevin Feige as well. Avengers had happened.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out just after Winter Soldier.
Wow. That's amazing to think, but yeah.
So it was still Sony being arrogant enough to not listen to Kevin Feige,
Yeah, and
who they had worked with for years, by the way.
I-
Marvel Studios existed long before
I just
Iron
feel
Man.
like at this point now, where they're at with the agreement is that they are listening to Kevin Feige and listening to Disney and going, okay.
You'd like to think so.
All right. Because
When it comes to the MCU relevant Spider-Man stuff, I'm pretty certain the agreement is Kevin's in charge.
Oh, yeah, almost certainly.
Well, as Sammy says, but they're allowing Marvel Studios to be involved because they can see how profitable the MCU is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. Which is why they've clearly... It was very funny because there was an interview when I think it was Homecoming came out, but it could have been Far From Home, where it was the head of Sony and Kevin Feige doing like press stuff. And someone asked the question, it would have to have been Far From Home because Venom had come out. So
Okay,
about Venom ever crossing over, and she was like, "Yeah, it's entirely possible. We're thinking about all these ideas right now." And Kevin had a look on his face that was, "Keep your shite away from my universe." And it looked, I'd never seen an interview where someone looked like they were going to murder someone on stage. It was basically just like,
I would love to see what actual MCU would do with Venom.
"Me too,"
I
but
think everybody would.
but they've shoehorned this dog shit in, haven't they? Don't get me started on that. We'll get there one day, maybe, eventually, because we'll run out of movies. And we're more likely to do Venom than do the same movies again. Not subtle dig at people. Anyway.
Oh, dear. Right, we're 18
funny,
minutes in.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. We're 17 minutes in. 18. And we haven't really spoken about this film.
Who said this? If I can listen to a word I say.
he literally just
I was listening to you.
Yeah.
And I heard you. That's why I was agreeing.
Right.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Didn't sound like a fucking agreement. Hey! Go on, Jack. Test the plot.
I don't want to. No.
You'll do Venom before Parasite. I'm still up for doing
Very
Parasite,
likely.
but I don't
very
think these
likely.
guys are. Anyway.
I'm sorry, I'll address this. I've said before, I'm up for the channel doing Parasite. I'm just vetoing myself out of it, that's all.
Sam says Venom is a parasite. Does that count?
Yes. Yes, it does.
It's just not my type of movie.
It wouldn't be mine, but seeing as Hannah's talked about it so much, I'm happy to watch it at some point. Maybe I'll just do a quick reaction as like a 3-minute video and stick it on the socials or something.
One day. But too many plans. Too many things are happening. Anyway, Spider-Man, it opens with...
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm doing this. I watched this 2 days ago. I don't remember because
I watched this last night.
There you go.
It opens with too long.
No. I told you it was my first no. Everybody loves Spider-Man.
Yeah,
in New
it
York.
opens with
Wonderful.
the-
Yay. Woo.
Swinging through the...
Swinging through the streets.
Whipping. And then we don't see Spider-Man again for about 45 minutes. Just want to point that
pretty
out.
much.
Oh yeah, this film has way too much of Tom Holland being useless again. It's not Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire.
I was going to say, how dare you?
Tom Holland is never
Precious
useless.
Spider-Man.
I love just quickly to pause. Hannah has said, to be fair, now it's more of a recurring joke than anything else about Parasite, so she doesn't care anymore.
But yes, after the swinging, there's 45 minutes of everyone being an absolute dick.
Yeah.
Pretty much exactly that. That's the plot for the rest of the film.
Oh my God, people are the worst.
Even before Tobey Maguire gets the symbiote, he's being a dick.
Everyone's being a dick, though. They're taking it in turns on who can be a dick. We go to MJ's play, and she's fine, I suppose.
Obviously not, because she fucking gets let go.
She was poor.
Huh?
She was poor. She was poor in that play.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it
That
wasn't her
whole
singing.
plot-
I
didn't
wouldn't
look
have
like a
thought.
particularly interesting play that anyone could be good in
the
anyway.
whole plot line of her was odd, by the way. She was just like, all the way through it, I'm in this musical. This hasn't gone well. I've been sacked from the musical, but all I want to do is sing. Hang on, before this, you just wanted to be in play. Why don't you just go at this point? Clearly, singing's not my gig. I'll just go back to acting. Why is it suddenly musical theatre in particular you want to do and not just plays?
Yeah.
That was very odd. To the
Convenient.
point
It
where
gave
she
her a
was
reason to be a dick.
going to be a singer in a jazz bar. Like,
Yeah.
just
But
what?
there's a scene quite early on, pretty much straight after the play, where MJ shows up at Peter's room, shall we say, and very down about a critic, a review in a newspaper. At this point, she only knows of this one, so it was just one. And I think at this point, Peter gives some pretty solid advice. And she just goes, it's not about you. So, yes, but I've been through this, you fucking knob jockey. How about you sit down and listen to me? Try and, can't you just pretend how I feel? He knows exactly how you feel. That's what he's just tried to tell you. But you've said, it's not about you. All right, fuck me then. What do you want? Do you want me to go, boo-hoo, and throw you off the balcony? What do you want? Shut up. God, everyone's a prick.
This is the best plot rundown we've done. Carry on, correct though. It's good so far.
And then...
I mean, the plot rundown is people are dicks.
Yes.
That's the plot rundown.
That's the plot rundown. There's some more dickery. There's some more... There's some more not being Spider-Man in a film called Spider-Man 3. And then biggest corporal cock-end move goes to his elderly aunt at 2:10 in the morning.
Yeah, which is an oddity. It was you that pointed that out.
Yeah, it was clear.
sorry.
I was just like, hold the fucking phone. It's dark. She's in a dressing gown and clearly has just been awoken as she opened the door. And then I see this clock that says 2:10. Either change the batteries, you lazy hag, or it's 2:10 and this is the biggest dickery that everybody's ever done. Turn up to your 94-million-year-old grandmother of an aunt and just be like, I'm going to ask her to marry me. You could have fucking told me in the morning,
Yeah.
Get out of my house. But anyway. And then he's all going home, and then suddenly... Oh, we've probably had something to do with Harry being a sad old dick. Then he shows up in his super cool snowboard outfit on his flying snowboard.
I did make a note about the fact that he's got a snowboard hoverboard. It's just like...
This is the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he gets his... He inhales gas, the goblin gas, doesn't he? Because the useless butler hasn't told him yet.
Yeah, obviously we'll come to that later, but that's stupid plot point. Fucking stupid plot point.
Also, what is it with...
Oh, no, it's not going to... Oh, no.
You've moved
no,
the table
sorry.
now.
Oh, I just wanted you closer in.
What is it with wealthy people and not letting their poor old fucking butlers retire?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, Batman's clearly... the people who make Batman movies are clearly cottoned onto this because Alfred's been getting younger. As opposed to in the Tim Burton... Batman, when he was literally shaking hands with Tutankhamun, the last thing he can remember. Like, but anyway, I digress.
Harry treats him like shit as well, the poor old butler.
Yeah.
And when Mary Jane's come around, he's like, go and get me some food. And he's just like, let me find out more about this. This is exciting. Go and get food! It's just like, be nice to him. He's an old man. He's intrigued in your love life. Give him a chance.
Yeah.
Look out for you,
He
man.
seems
At least he didn't Lara Croft him and put him in the freezer.
True.
That's literally all I ever did in that game. I don't think I actually played the game. I'm pretty sure I put him in the freezer and then
That was it,
closed the
done.
game.
We're getting lost.
We are
are.
getting lost. That's a different show, though. So. We're literally called Rabbit Hole because we get lost. Come on.
Yeah, but so Sammy says, but the butlers have to be old enough to be the surrogate father figure. That's fine. They don't have to be 90.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Fathers generally aren't 90.
He's our surrogate father figure.
And I'm 90.
I was going to say, he's playing younger than us. Mm-hmm. Significantly younger than us. I know he's 54 in the movie, but like... they're meant to be like 21.
I know, yeah. Doesn't make any sense.
So your surrogate father figure only needs to be like, I mean, biologically, possibly speaking, like 35, but like 45. Like, you don't need to be 407.
No, definitely not.
Oh, Sammy throwing the shade there.
Yeah.
And then your wife just laughing at
Yeah, I know. I can't do much about my home life like that.
Wives do that, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
But anyway, what's happened? Oh, yes, Snowboarder Man is chasing the
Snowboarder
swingy boy. In the worst...
They're all dicks. Snowboard and swingy boy.
Snowboard and swingy boy. And we had not progressed in an age to do out of costume
No.
visual effects at this point in time. But la-di-da, shit swinging fight. Meant to be super cool. Oh, I can turn my surfboard hoverboard this way.
Oh, God, you've
I
done
moved
it
the
even
table.
worse now.
You've straightened it up more. No,
No. Okay,
I fixed it. Turned it sideways. Oh, yes. I can alleyway this bitch now. And then thus begins the... we should have had a counter of Harry hits his head.
Yes. This is also reason number 764 that everyone knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man because they can see him.
Yeah, just going through.
Yes, but that goes down to the same as the train, though. It's like,
Yes.
I know who Spider-Man is. Who? A dude. He was wearing a suit
I don't know who you
earlier. Yes, that narrows it down. But also, Harry wasn't being particularly subtle either.
No.
And he's more likely to be recognised because he is the son of the founder of Oscorp and a very wealthy man in
Would have been in many news
Manhattan.
reports.
Yes, I would imagine people very much... They didn't play into that at all in this trilogy, that people know who the Osborns are. But in any other form of Spider-Man, the Osborns don't seem to exist in this latest form of Spider-Man. But
No.
This time.
there's time. Exactly.
Obviously, the game is fine in terms of having Harry, and although not
Harry's not
known-
really in it. He's mentioned, and obviously he's...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's for the next game.
In theory.
No, absolutely 100%.
Well, yeah, but we've got Venom, we've got Craven. So.
But Venom
okay.
will be Harry. Anyway.
Oh.
Anyway. I assume. I'll get to that.
There's different things.
Different podcast entirely at this point. He hits his head twice. Suddenly forgetful. I'm a happy person. I forgot that you didn't murder my father. I forgot that you're swingy boy. I'm happy now. Is it permanent?
He's so bad.
So
Tobey
psychotic.
Maguire's
It's
sort
like, my dad died, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
So bad.
What?
Just... I don't buy any of it in this film. Tobey Maguire in this film is his worst. I've said... I'm sorry. I know he seems to be loved. I don't understand why he's
I don't get it
shit.
either.
He's shit.
Everyone seems to like. It seems to be people's favorite Spider-Man. I think he's the worst out of all three. He's the worst.
Just...
The films aside, just the Spider-Man Peter Parkers. He's the worst.
There is a point in this... There is a point we get to a bit later where I liked him for a bit. A very small amount. There was a few things he did. I was like, I like that delivery. But mostly, he's shit. Like, everything is just so one-dimensional and wooden, and he never feels like he's conveying the correct emotion for the scene. Like, no chemistry with Mary Jane, no chemistry with Bryce Dallas Howard, no chemistry with his aunt. Like...
Is that I reckon? Okay, it is
like,
Bryce Dallas.
just, like,
Okay.
So
yeah.
much of it.
Okay.
I just don't get it.
Completely unnecessary having Gwen Stacy in this movie at all. But
Continue.
at some point, we get a man running away from. Oh no, this is way later. I forget how
It doesn't
long
matter.
this
We're
movie
just
is.
brushing around it today. It's
Yeah,
not...
yeah.
There is a man in a stripy shirt who climbs into a window.
Just very quickly before that, because it is very quickly thing. MJ and Peter at the park, and the symbiote arrives.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sludge attaches itself to his somehow still alive post run over scooter thing, and
I'm glad that in general people are hating on
Yes.
Tobey Maguire. That's
yes,
good.
that decides not to show up for another hour and a half, but there we go. Sludge is patient apparently.
Yeah.
Sits there.
But you were saying, obviously, we've got Flint.
Yes, Flint Marco, aka Sandman.
Is it Flint Marco or Marco Flint?
Depends what order you say his
Flint
names.
Marco, I think.
Okay, cool. I had no idea. I just remembered that it was Flint.
I think it's
Anyway.
Flint Marco. He goes and sees his dying daughter. I don't know if she's
Very
dying
unwell.
at the time. Very unwell. He
Very
says dying at some point, but
He does say dying at some point, yeah.
and then his interesting choice in life companion shows up and says, like, you can't hide here. Obviously, I'm not going to hide here. This will be place number 1 that they check. My house. No one ever hides in their own house. I just want to point that out. You will be found.
And Frank did.
Yeah, I was about to make worse jokes. I'm
No,
glad you went for
don't make
Frank.
worse jokes. Just say the name and that's it. Done. Move on.
But did that go well?
No.
I'll tell you who I was thinking of later.
Oh God, right. Oh.
Don't say it.
I'm not entirely sure who you're thinking of, but for some reason, I assume it's someone as bad or worse than a Fritzl.
Fritzl was one
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. That's who I was thinking of. That he was thinking of. Anyway.
I see. I've been distracted by Fritzls.
There's the quote of the day. I've been distracted by Fritzls.
They sound like a crisp, don't they? I'd love a bag of Fritzls.
That's Frazzles, and they're great. How were they left off the list?
Well, they're not as good as Funyun rings. Funyun rings.
Oh God!
Here we go.
Do you know what? Before this episode, we were all three of us going, yeah, it's, a relatively calm week and everything. It's just descended into hell within the. Oh, anyway.
Yep.
That's what always happens. But anyway, speed run.
Because we're entertainers, Rich.
Stripy shirt boys on the run. Cut to a scene where useless policeman the third decides to suddenly come clean to Aunt May and Peter Parker that, oh yeah, by the way, we got wrong who murdered your husband / uncle and have elected not to give you this information for God knows how long. Peter Parker, fair enough in this case, loses his shit. I think that's absolutely fair. And then storms off. And then we get, at some point, I'm speed running.
Yes,
Speed running's fine.
The omission of that it being a different person was later in the film, but that's fine. Doesn't matter.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's fine. Just go for it. It was fine. It's
Yeah.
coherent still. Currently, it's more coherent than the actual film was. So I
That's true.
wouldn't
That's true. Stripy shirt man running through a field away from dogs doesn't see a hole the size of New Jersey, falls into it.
I've
The
got a
most
big problem.
fireable scientists you will ever have.
Big problem with this
It's
bit.
a bird. It will fly
Yeah.
away when we turn it on. I'm sorry. If you can tell there is a difference, if your machine can tell there is a difference in the mass, it can tell by how much there is a difference in the mass.
Exactly.
What did you think was there? A pair of golden fucking eagles on top of each other's shoulders. And then, they'll fly away.
Even that aside, I feel like having your data change minutes before you begin the experiment is absolutely going to skew your results as well. So surely as a scientist, you want to go, hang on, hold fire. We need to add this into our calculations and find out what's going on here.
And
Also-
also, check. It's clearly outside. Do you not have a window? Just look and see a man in a
Or
stripy
even
shirt.
a camera, a CCTV.
Yeah.
Like,
I know this was multiple years ago, but come on, people. You can build a disintegrator ray or whatever it is. But I have a big problem. What the hell are they doing?
I don't know.
What the hell are
Did
they
they want to
doing?
make a sand spinning machine because they succeeded? Like, what were they doing? They already had the sand.
apparently, it's supposed to be a particle accelerator.
But-
They already had the sand.
But why? Why? It's like there's no reference of what it is. It's not like warning. There's a bloody disintegrator ray ahead of you. What particle
An
accelerator?
ostrich is a better answer than two golden eagles standing on each other's
I
shoulders.
don't know. I like that more.
You've just made a good point of what was the experiment. Aha! We have sand. Do the thing. There is still
There is
sand.
more sand.
What were they
We have made sand into more sand that is finer grains. But yeah, it's just like there is no reference to what the hell they were doing in the whole film. Nothing that ties it to a Oscorp thing or something like that. What is going on? And so, yeah, what if
I
they were
mean-
demolecularizing?
It's quite
Is that a
obvious.
word?
It is now. It's quite obvious what they were doing. World's biggest sandcastle. That's what they were going for.
I know exactly what they
Sorry,
were
that was
doing.
probably very loud, Mike.
They
I
were
do
trying to
apologise.
change people into sand people.
Ah.
And
They
just
did it
waiting
very
for
well.
someone to come in.
Also, I love the idea that this movie thinks that if sand gets into your pores, you become sand. Like if
I mean, I do feel sandy once I've been to the beach.
Yeah,
you
gets
do,
everywhere.
you do, but you don't become sand. It may feel like your arsehole's made of sand whilst you're trying to shower, but
And sand does continue to fall out of orifices for the next few days. in my
absolutely,
experience.
absolutely,
Hannah says it is actually a particle accelerator. That's fine, but wait,
it's in the novelization.
why? What?
But how does it? What's the if just spinning particle? I realise.
And yes, you're right.
Isn't a particle accelerator meant to crush them? What happens if you crush sand into sand? You just get sand. Like, like what were they trying to achieve?
Well,
Would
maybe
his skin have just been blasted off? Well, yes. He would also have choked and suffocated on sand. He would have also not become sand. There are many things that would have happened.
Definitely wouldn't become sentient sand that could reform itself back into a human. That one
Unless that's what they were planning on, and they were wanting birds to just come in and go, right, we've got a sandbird now. They wanted sandbird, not sandman.
But also, like, he can't shower.
No! He cried, right? I know this is later on in the film, but he cries. That would have the same effect. A, how is he crying?
Because he's made of sand.
No!
very uncomfortable in your eyes.
But you
Your eyes.
can't have a bodily function if you're made of sand, surely. And also,
I'd assume you would also not wear a stripy T-shirt if
Yeah,
you were
well,
made
this
of
is true.
sand either. Well, a T-shirt in general is not specifically stripy.
but it's like there's bits where he's heavily breathing later on because he's running and everything. It's just like,
how
you
are you
have
out
no
of breath?
respiratory system. You're sand.
I love how we're talking about a film where a lad is bitten by a radioactive spider that gives him the ability to spit webs out of his veins, but we're very hung up on the man that turns into sand.
See, where I'd argue the difference is, although it's gobbledygook hocus pocus, I can understand the logic
I do get you.
behind Spider-Man existing.
I do get you. I was thinking the same. Is like for the most part, these things have a certain amount of. I can see the basement in like.
I can see how you got there.
But
Obviously, it's nonsense, but I can see how you got there. The whole because cross-species gene splicing is not a new thing.
I think with any of these like superheroes we've had in these films, and in this series in particular, is that it feels. Everything feels somewhat grounded still. Like you can say, everything is explained away with science in one way or another. This is just, oh no, he's Sandman now.
Yeah.
And without really explanation of how that works.
My wonderful wife says, I said to Rich last night, why do all these accidents make superheroes and not just painfully kill them all?
Just what really? 'Cause the world would be better if that happened. It would be far more entertaining to see Man of Sand, because let's be honest, in the real world we wouldn't come up with catchy names. We would just be like, Man of Sand.
Well, no. I've seen the way the people in the real world, he'll be called Sandy McSandface. That's
true. That's true.
Called Sandy McSandface.
Sandy
And if we
McSandface
had
strikes
Spider-Man,
again.
We would just called him Steven. That's what they seem to do.
Steven! That'd be superb. I'm sorry. I now need to create a spider that can turn me into Spider-Man just to see who shouts Steven. But I guess this kind of does work within the movie's own logic because it doesn't have any. So there's that. But anyway, Sandy McSandface is here now. He has a
Which
bit of
is quite a cool scene, other than the stupidity of the ideals. The actual scene itself is,
The
quite well
sequence
done.
of him sort of putting himself back together looks quite good for the time.
for the time.
It looks pretty good
It looks
even
pretty
now.
good I know,
to
but when
be
you
fair.
take that into account, it looks even better.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is clearly the stuff they wanted to do because this is actually a good scene, and it's like him trying to like form an actual hand and pick up the locket, which would be gone.
Exactly. That was another point of mine, is that if it's demolecularizing everything, then surely that would have gone to...
Lockets are invincible.
Okay, yeah. Casey
Harry
said
Potter
pretty
is
much
a
the same thing last
vibranium.
night.
Harry Potter is the same.
Okay.
It's a vibranium locket. But yes, him forming a hand and trying to make legs, and him clearly like, I don't know how you have a functioning brain when you're just a pile of sand at that point. But what does that feel like?
Sand.
Just being a pile of sand. Like, you're just like...
Man United won 3-0.
In other things we don't give a shit about,
Match
land.
of the day.
Sorry.
Anyway.
But no one cares, it's fine.
Uncomfortable. Yes, you're right.
I imagine it would be uncomfortable being sand, but I don't know. I've never been sand.
Itchy. I can tell you, it's itchy.
Yeah, but would it be? If you are sand, you are
I
not
feel
you.
like we're getting very hung up on this.
You are not you with sand on you. You are sand.
You're sand.
Okay, right. Hannah's actually come in with an actual ideal of why. So apparently they were testing if sand could protect against radiation. I mean, actually, if that's the case, what were they protecting?
What were they radiating?
Sand, which doesn't answer anything.
Hang on, could you radiate sand? That's probably what that is then.
Probably.
You can radiate anything.
But that doesn't necessarily prove radiation wouldn't go through it. It just means it itself hasn't become irradiated. What if you were standing on the on the inside of your sandcastle house?
Gosh.
But anyway, moving on. What happens after
Thankfully. Right, after that...
Spider-Man is getting the award for saving... No, that hasn't happened yet.
Harry has short-term...
I think it's just more scenes.
MJ show review. So obviously she gets a bad review. Obviously you've said about the fact that she wants very different support from Peter than he actually gives. And then we've got the crane incident.
Oh! Yes.
Yeah, because it's been Sandman... No, who attacks the building?
It's just a crane
Oh,
accident.
it's just a crane
Yes,
accident.
yeah.
Yeah. You're correct.
But I think this is...
Thank you.
This is while she's babbling on about the bad review, isn't it? So I did the bad review
Yes.
thing much.
No, that's fine. It's fine.
Oh, that's because I was talking about general dickery, wasn't it?
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But anyway, he then has the radio and he's like, "Go get him, Tiger."
This is so. This is the scene where she's doing some sort of modelling photo shoot in the
Yes.
top of this fucking skyscraper building.
Yes.
Crane accident happens, smashes through it. The police are there very quickly. Police is looking up, looking what's going on. Random guy gets out of cab, who we get introduced to as being Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Gets out, looks up, and goes, "Oh, that's Gwen." Bearing in mind we don't know who he is at this point. Hands binoculars to the police officer. Turns out
Her dad.
her dad. He goes, "Oh yeah, why is she up there? I don't know. Who are you? I'm her boyfriend." Oh, none of them are going, "Oh no, our loved one is dying and about to fall." They don't give a shit.
The policeman chief or whatever his name is just says, "That'll do, pig. That'll do."
They don't care at all that they are about to watch Gwen fall to her brutal death. Like, they're not bothered by that. It's more just what your intentions in my daughter seems to just be what's going on here.
Absolutely. But the first appearance of Spider-Man, much like this episode 45 minutes in,
Yep.
shows up, does some cool things.
Let's do some cool things.
I'm not entirely sure why two random bits of building have fallen from different directions hard enough to explode on impact, as opposed to falling from the same place because they came from the same place. But anyway, he does all the catchy swinging magoo.
Yep.
Saves her. Absconds.
Saves her. Absconds, yes. As you do. As
Well, as he does, if it's someone he knows, as we've discussed previously.
But he doesn't take her with her this time, does he?
No. He takes her out of the way a little bit still, I think.
But yeah, and just
Off he goes.
Stevens away, as he does. And I can't remember this movie.
Basically, it then
30 minutes, stop being overly dramatic. It's still.
It then leads to the Gwen Stacy is arranged to give Spider-Man like the C to the kitty.
The C to the
kitty.
kitty, yes.
Yeah.
That's something else, which I think she also wants to give him. To be fair,
Katie says, to be fair, if you realised your daughter was dating him, you'd be distracted and worried about intentions.
I don't know if I would at this point. I feel like at this
What,
point,
Topher Grace? I would be. He looks like a
that
problem.
over her
yeah,
dying.
but not over her falling off a fucking skyscraper. Like if it
Your
was just
options, no daughter or daughter with that.
Yeah.
I don't have a door. I can't judge. She's giving him the key to the city as a thank you and like celebrating. Yes, celebrating. C to the kitty will be a shirt now. I'm even going to write that down.
Why have I not
C
got socks?
to the kitty. You can buy socks. Oh, you want
No,
socks? I'll write that one down too. Socks.
I've been saying that for the last year.
It's not been that long.
I know. I wasn't here at that point.
Almost.
So they set up a big like ceremony because everyone loves Spidey, and then he's there with Mary Jane. Like, I'm going to swing in from over there. But having this conversation very loudly. No one's walking past going,
Oh, yes, this is the conversation you have at home.
Yes,
before you leave.
Spider-Man. Harry comes along like, where's Peter? He's like, oh, I guess she's off doing the thing. And then he swings in, does some cool tricks. He's loving it. His confidence level has grown massively in this film. Loving it. Look at me, I'm Spider-Man, doing all these stunts and tricks and things. Gets down. They're all like, kiss us, Spidey. Yeah, kiss him. And he's like,
Also,
yeah,
all of the
go
people
on.
chanting that are too old to be chanting that.
Yes. And then
Apart from that little kid who goes,
Yeah, but that's an appropriate reaction for the age group. This is a 45-year-old man going, kiss him!
that sounds about right. Scum. He's like, yeah, go on, lay one on me. She's like, really? Yeah, go on. And they do the infamous kiss, and Mary Jane is obviously pissed.
understandably.
Yes, I think this is almost, and this is saying something for this movie, king of the dickery in this.
Everything is bad. So why are you being a dick now?
No, there is another level of dickery that's even worse, which comes later.
Oh, I will be doing some reenactments later.
Okay.
Only if you get us to 10 subscribers.
No. Not of that.
Okay.
All I'll say is now dig on this.
Stream.
No, I don't want to dig on you or anything.
So this happens.
Yeah.
She then goes off in his job. Harry's like, oh, what's going on? She's like, oh, I just need to go. And blah, blah, blah. And then some more things happen. And then I've lost track of what happens after that. But I remember this point because it's like, God, you're being a dick. And I understand why she's a bit...
There was one moment which I found amusing sort of just before that, which was Jameson having the blood pressure pills.
Oh, yeah.
And then just the vibrating desk and just making it worse.
Why
every
would you
single
ever
time.
install that?
Yeah. It's insane. Anyway, I thought that was quite a funny little bit. Otherwise, obviously the Keys to the City or Keys to the Kitty section is followed by Sandman flying through, and which he can fly now, it seems.
Oh, yes.
Just on the wind.
I think it's meant to be
fly
he floats through the wind, but he seems to be able to choose where he can go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not how wind goes.
and then
Yes, Sandman float.
Yeah, and then he tries to take out the truck, the armored truck.
Sandy McSandface. Sorry.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Sandface.
it. Spider-Man goes to save... Can't fight sand because, sand is sandy.
Yeah.
Doesn't go overly well. Sandman's not too pleased that Spider-Man's come along. That fight kind of ends pretty quickly, though, with not much of a resolution.
Then he sits on a roof, takes his mask off in the plain views of windows.
Everybody.
Yes.
Where do these guys keep coming from? Empties his shoes
Fair
of sand.
question, to be fair. I'd be questioning it. I'd be like, what? How? Why?
But he knew exactly where the other two came from.
He did know that.
So it was just Sandy McSandface that he's confused by.
By the way, this is the point in which the film, or in the film, which they tell Aunt May and Peter about Flint being the murderer, supposedly.
Oh, yes, because he's already interacted with him and he recognises
Yes,
him.
recognises him. Yes,
Yes,
makes sense. More things happen. We're all over the plot now.
Yeah.
Eddie Brock comes on. He's taking pictures of Spider-Man. He's trying to get Peter Parker's job. Peter Parker's not pleased about this, so he sort of starts a feud with him there as well. What brings to the point where he puts on, like, because he's already in a mood about something. He's already annoyed about something, which is when the symbiote latches onto him.
It's when he's listening to the police scanner to find Flint.
So this is basically where we're at to next. Then.
Yeah, and then pretty much, but obviously MJ shows up beforehand.
They have a fight.
They have a fight, but about the old smoocheroony.
Yes, and I'm with her on this one. And he just doesn't get it. She's like, how can you not get this? And he's
And then, she was just, oh no. No, that was at the restaurant that they had that.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's after Gwen Stacy shows up. But anyway.
Everything about it, she's like, who was kissing her? Was it you or Spider-Man? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, you know exactly what she means. You're being a dick.
Yeah.
Come on.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. But anyway, he falls asleep like a weirdo who sleeps like that.
Tap him back.
But anyway, the non-rule following goo latches on.
It's been dormant up until this point.
Yeah, it's just
biding its time.
What, just waiting in a sock drawer? I
Yes.
don't understand what he's been doing. All of his socks just black socks now.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing. Carry on.
No.
I haven't said
No.
anything. I've not said a thing. This is you.
But you made enough of a fuss.
I said carry on.
No, you
It's a bit of a
brings
carry-on,
enough
is what I'm saying.
brings enough tension. Attention.
Attention. Attention. That's a Bishy Bashy reference.
Why would he sleep in his costume when he shares a communal bathroom? Also a good. I mean, I think he's in his costume because he's ready to jump up and go chasing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he normally uses them as a pair of pajamas.
No.
I think also he's getting a bit of a buzz off of the black suit.
It's not black at this point.
It's not black at this point, no. This is when it first latches onto
Oh.
him. And then he wakes up. He
yeah,
then wakes
yeah,
up
yeah,
with
yeah.
the
He wakes
black
up as
suit.
it's
Yeah.
all over his face.
Well,
and
is
then
that before or after the fight in the subway with Sandman?
before, because he has the
Yes.
black suit for that.
Yeah.
Because he wakes up, he then has the black suit. He is particularly okay with it very quick. He's just like, oh,
This feels great.
this is weird. I'm on board. Like, there's nothing that makes me go, what the fuck? How has this happened? This isn't part of my suit design in the slightest. Like, he's just, okay, no worries. And then goes
Make
off,
them feel all powerful.
going gallivant him around with that. Mm-hmm. Gets in the fight with him in the thing, does some more cool stuff. Gets back, he then realizes the suit's doing things. So he takes it off, doesn't he? In like this is weird, and he takes it off, shoves it in the suitcase.
Question number 1.
Yeah.
How?
Because obviously, it's
supposed
a
to be
lot harder
binding
to
to
take it off later.
Yeah, here
then-
it's bonded to just a suit, but then he has the red suit in the thing as well, and the black suit
Yes,
and
and
thing.
he
So
also
it's
has some of the symbiote
as a
spare,
separate
yeah.
which he's able to give to the.
Doc Connors.
Who says this is not a good thing? You shouldn't
Yes.
be touching this.
Yes, but he has the suit just in a drawer. Why did that happen? When later it seems to be properly bonded to him, and
Yeah.
it's just taken the shape of the suit, which is how it actually works. This movie is garbage.
Yeah.
Hey, once you go black, you don't go back.
No, it's not.
I was reading a message.
Yeah.
I wasn't just saying that of my own volition.
Anyway, keep going, because we're
Yep.
52 minutes in.
Oh god, yeah.
Backflipping, doing all sorts of shit. He punches the man in the subway. Sorry, I should.
Sandy McSandface.
Yeah, Sandy, I should clarify. He didn't just punch a man. This, that, and the other. He takes it off because he's like, oh no, I'm being a dick.
Obviously,
Now you clock on. You're going to blame the suit for everything, are we?
effectively kills both Sandy McSandface.
Oh, thinks he has
Wait,
at the
thinks
very
he
least.
has, yeah,
Because
effectively.
Then goes to Aunt May, and who we have said from previous movies definitely knows, and has basically just gone, I murdered a man.
Yeah.
And you're like, I thought you'd be happy about it.
No, Uncle Ben wouldn't be a vengeful person.
Yes, wouldn't want revenge in our hearts. And then he does stuff. There's so much Gumfix.
Starting to get emo Pete at that point. Where
I think it's a bit later, isn't it?
Yeah,
Where
but
it
it
starts
starts.
to get a few
It's
moments
literally
where it's
just
getting a little
Oh,
bit
he gets the
fringy.
fringe, and then he looks at himself in the mirror and goes, I look like a prick. And then puts it back up. And then it goes full on later. And then he buys the black suit.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean with a fringe. It's his fringe.
I mean,
Obviously,
this is ridiculous.
after the fight with Sandy McSandface, Brock gets the staffer position because he.
Because he photoshopped. And then obviously this is when Peter's in full on, I have a fringe
full emo mode.
These moments when he's being sarky is when I liked him. I thought he was quite good at being a bit sarky and sassy. Not the hair flick so much.
Gonna get some dirt in your eye.
Not the hair flick so much. But when he is like telling people off and having a snap with people, I think he's quite good at delivering those moments. I enjoyed those moments with him.
Yeah, there is some good stuff. And then obviously, what I found hilarious, this is later, I'll get to it later. But yeah, he does that, pushes him into the thing, and he gets immediately fired. Well, Eddie Brock gets immediately fired. La-di-da. Here's like, if you want these pictures, I'll have the staff job, because he's now got awesome pictures. For some reason, the black suit's made him a better photographer as well. He's now got awesome pictures of Black Suit Spider-Man. If you want the photos, you give me the staff job and double the money. I was like, ooh. That is a... from what we know of J. Jonah Jameson in these movies, that would have been get the fuck out of my office, never come back.
Yeah.
Request.
But he knows he wants those photos. That's the problem. Is that
Yeah,
he
no,
knows
but are
that
they worth a staff job
He's also
on
just
double
had
the
to-
salary he was originally
He's
offering?
also just had to print a retraction.
Yes.
So he needs to save his paper.
But that was thanks to Peter Parker
That's true.
that he caught
It's
that
true.
retraction. But sorry. That's the beginning of the montage, is it?
Yeah, we then start breaking into the Buddy Maguire, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just I do like that in the movie, the women that walk past him looking at him like, you are the worst.
It is the worst scene.
It's just there's no. I mean, as with a good chunk of this film, there's no need for it.
I think main thing is that Tobey Maguire can't sell it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not sold as in being cool and flying.
It's not meant to be. It's meant to be as a nerd trying to be cool.
I guess, but God, it's not.
Like, that's literally what... So in the, like, DVD commentary, that's what Sam Raimi said. It's meant to be, it's a nerd trying to be cool.
I don't believe you. I think what's happened is he's
What
got...
do you mean you don't believe me?
No, I don't believe
Sam
Raimi. Sorry, I was addressed at him. I think he said that afterwards as a retcon as to why it's like that. It's like, oh no, it was supposed to be in trying to be cool.
Sam brings up a very good point. Why does he need to buy clothes when the symbiote can be all his clothes?
To be honest, the more we talk about how the symbiote actually works in the comics, it sounds more appealing. I don't like buying clothes.
What, being with the symbiote sounds appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Makes you more powerful. Yeah, it makes you a bit of a dick, but I am.
Yep,
So
fine.
not much of a change.
You more dicking.
More dicking.
And that's why Jack wants the symbiote.
I could just change my clothes.
Do you know what?
In some versions, it eats away at you. I've got spare, so it's fine. You can have some of the spare.
When I left tonight, I'd said goodbye to my son, and he was on a call with his friend, and basically his friend said, "Oh, where should I go?" He's like, "Off to record a podcast." "Oh, really? Can I? Go? No, you cannot. No."
Not
And there are many
advised.
reasons.
There is a reason why we would be parental advisory on a CD.
Yes, and that advisory would be no.
It's not just the words; it's the context.
And there's a hell of a lot of things I'd have to explain to my son.
Not at this age.
No.
Not yet.
But anyway, some horrible dancing and sliding in the street in the middle of New York. If that happened in New York or London, that person is being punched. Now, if someone just gets in your way and just going, that is a move on, you prick. Like, the amount of people I saw being shoved during the Olympics and all they were doing is just walking slower than you. Like, ridiculous. The Olympics. This is a very quick...
Okay.
They literally tried throughout the entire streets of London to have arrows directing you where you can and can't go.
They just
to
had
which
random
all of
volunteers
London
as
went,
No.
fuck right off.
Yes.
Because you're adding 50 minutes to my walk. Eat a dick. Anyway, move along.
More dickery.
London was mental in 2012, I remember.
It was. That's when I worked in London and I hated it. And I've never hated tourism as much in my life. I was like, is this what I do to people when I go on holiday? Oh, no. That's why I only go to all-inclusive hotels and never leave.
So Peter takes Gwen on a date.
There's been a breakup.
Yes,
We
there
missed
has been
that.
a breakup. Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
obviously
'cause
the
Harry's now
Harry's
seen-
remembered
Yes.
that he was a dick and gone to MJ and been like, I need
do
you
you
to
like peppers?
break
Yeah.
up.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
I thought this.
Yeah.
Hannah says, I feel like we've missed out. Do you like peppers? Promptly makes an omelette of almost no peppers and terrible. So
And
this-
also, who dishes out peppers with a spoon from a...
I thought this.
off.
They had cut up a bowl of multiple peppers.
Yeah.
Like, to make this
trying to
omelette.
take a jump from
Do you
my
like
car.
peppers? And put the smallest amount of peppers in the frying pan. Now, I don't know. I know at least some people in this thread know about cooking, but peppers shrink drastically when you fry them like that as well. So it would have been the tiniest amount of pepper. Hope you like peppers. No, good, because I've made fuck all. And then throws the omelette on the floor anyway.
Trying to be cool. This is why you were fired
Very
from the
annoyed
play,
people.
Mary Jane. I realised this was Harry, but anyway. I just wanted to... Anyway.
She does do terrible dancing as well, though. Another
Yes,
reason.
yes,
Like,
yes. Anyway...
musical theatre's not for you, Mary Jane.
Yes. Then Harry's all like, I'm angry now. You need to break up. If you want Peter to live, you need to break up with him. What a child.
Yes,
what a
I'm not
petulant
sure what
child.
he's trying to achieve at
But
this
anyway, there's someone else. And then Harry meets him in a cafe and is just like, I'm the other guy. My name's James Franco and I can't act. I can't do a serious performance.
Winks at him and then disappears.
I don't... Harry has much... What?
I don't know how he has done much cooking and is trying to
I
impress.
don't think
badly.
Harry...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
this is a very bold assumption from Peter that, he must be back as a goblin. Mm-hmm. He must be a goblin, so shows up with his emo fringe, his black actual suit, with then a few buttons undone to reveal that he's Spider-Man. And then they have a fight. Harry hits his head on the balcony.
Again.
So that's number 3, because he hits his head twice on the way down in the first one. So this is number 3. Then they have more of a fight. He gets thrown into the goblin arena.
Goblin cupboard.
The goblin cupboard. Gets twatted in the head with his floaty snowboard, and then a grenade thrown at his face. And then
Peter absconds.
As the absconder does.
Which, he did the cool guys don't look at explosions thing. But he, at that point, must be assuming that his friend is dead.
Yeah, but he's got the black suit on. He's cool now. He doesn't have friends.
But
It's not
later
cool
on,
to
he
care.
goes back to Harry's place. And, nothing has been said about Harry at that point. And it's just like, oh, yeah, no, he's still alive. Don't worry.
Maybe he's just like, I'll probably check. Now that I'm not a dickhead anymore. Or in his mind. He's still a dickhead. But,
yeah. So, they have
So
that fight, explosion.
When does he take Gwen Stacy to the jazz bar?
that's now, I think.
Because this is also appalling, and yet more reasons why everyone goes, that's Spider-Man. When he starts Spider-Manning around the place.
Oh, yes, when he starts sliding 90 yards on a chair and he swings off a chandelier.
Yeah.
Ah! Anyway.
I thought he was going to appear in La La Land.
Yes. I didn't realise getting bitten by a radioactive spider would give you piano skills.
Piano skills.
And I was about to say dancing skills. It does not.
No, just swings.
All you need to know about dancing is now dig on this.
I was so worried about what he was about to do. Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god.
But no. I was. Let's go away from that for a second. But just say no. Of course, he's good at jazz because he swings everywhere.
Hey!
All right, Goblin, calm down.
Having Spider-Man powers does not make a chair able to defy physics.
That is true.
You never know. If you push hard enough, it would slide.
Woof.
In what way?
Use your imagination. I don't know.
I don't want to. There shouldn't be any sliding. The symbiote amplifies who you are, so maybe he can play chopstick and his jazz piano is that amplified.
And my wife rolling her eyes, I'm sure, at home about my dad joke, so thank you.
So that happens.
I don't like the no comments on mine now dig on this performance, to be honest.
I think there are no comments to be had.
That happens.
perfection.
Dallas Bryce, what's her name?
Gwen.
Stacy.
Gwen.
It's like, oh, you were doing this just for her. Oh, dickhead. And then he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she leaves because she realizes he's a dickhead. Mary Jane's like even more annoyed. Like, what's going on here? Starts like having a bicker.
Oh, I've just remembered the King of the Dickery in this movie.
Continue.
Well, I mean, that's a fairly King Dickery move.
Yes, but then it's the immediately later where he just walks up to him and goes, hey, as if expecting to have a normal conversation now. Obviously, he's then escorted from the premises for said dickery, starts to be a dick and shove the bodyguard, then just punches Mary Jane in the face.
Yeah.
King of the Dickery has achieved.
That's fair.
Anyway, carry on.
I mean, that whole
Interrupted
scene
you.
was King Dickery.
No, that's fine. I don't remember what happens after that. Continue.
Neither do I.
Perfect. Shit.
Consulting the notes.
Punches Mary Jane. This is what makes him think, like, because she says, who are you? And he's like, I don't know. Is this where he goes to rip off the suit?
Yes, he twigs, goes to the top of the church to rip off the suit. At the same time, Eddie Brock has gone
this
there
is what I'm going to talk about earlier.
to ask God to
Ask
kill
Jesus, yeah. Hey, Jesus, can you do me a favour
Hey,
and
Jesus,
kill
it's me,
someone?
that guy from that 70s show. Can he kill someone for me?
Thanks, mate.
Can you kill this person who saved more lives than you?
In terms of Christianity, that's not how it works.
Yes. I'm not going to
Just thought
ever
I'd say
claim
that
to
for
be
the
much
record.
of a religious person, but I do assume you can't just go to church once, pray for anything, B, God to just smite someone down. Not only just someone very specific.
But also, then it's just the stupidity of then going, oh, hang on, the person that I was praying about dying is up in the church bell. seemingly dying.
Also, the fact that he could tell who that was, nonsense.
know, like,
Nonsense.
Peter, how the fuck do you do that?
It's
All
like,
of the things that could have given him away up to the point in this film. A bell seems to be...
He's looking up and like, from where he's standing, you can't even see that there is a person up there, let alone in enough detail. You may as well be looking from the bottom to the top of the spire on the Empire State Building and going, Keith? Like, Gerald! That's not how that works.
Sandy McSandface?
Stephen. But anyway, I want to call it, this is the most butthurt human being in the world. It's like, you've called me out for being essentially a criminal and committing libel and being fired for committing libel. And because you were the one who called me out, you are the terrible person. It's like,
And God
you
can
lied,
smite
you got
down.
found, you got fired, you've made a fool of yourself, you will never work in this career again. Much like
Philip Mukin.
yes, that's how, it's like him going, I want them to kill IGN. Or the guy whose review I plagiarised
Yes.
that got me in deep shit. I can't remember who. Well, many of them, but the
yes.
main one, the Dead Cells one.
Yeah.
Very off topic. But
He wouldn't be known for it. Hannah's just put, I don't think Jesus is a hitman. And then
Well,
Katie
that's a
said,
movie.
He certainly isn't known for it. I was just like, wait.
imagine that being made as a movie, how well that would
That's
go
how he's good
down.
at
Let's not do that. Let's not even entertain the idea.
Hitman Jesus.
Hitman Jesus.
I mean, we've got Hitman Monkey coming.
Let's really move on swiftly.
I think monkeys are going to cause less of a global issue with particular communities than implying that Jesus was an assassin.
It's fine. Look, if Katie's joking about it, she's a Christian. It's fine.
Not sure that's how it works.
Okay, fair enough.
But anyway,
And Sammy, of
nonsense
course.
aside,
John Wick.
Does have long hair. I do like the idea of Keanu Reeves being Jesus, to be fair.
And Sammy says the Bible is a bit fuzzy on the subject of kneecaps.
but anyway, he's trying to get naked.
Yes. Because he's worked, and he seems to have worked out the bell is aggravating Venom.
No, he hasn't worked that out at this
No,
point.
he hasn't.
No.
But the bell is doing that.
Yeah, he accidentally headbutts. I don't know how you do that accidentally.
I don't know how you accidentally headbutt a bell and make that much noise and not just gong. I feel like that thing is a big solid piece of metal.
Like
Headbutting
Spider-Man, it moved, and it did the whole bell
that,
thing.
definitely not going to do that. It would go, "Gong." That's it. And then you go, ow.
I just meant because he actually moved the bell.
Yeah, I just don't believe that would happen, but carry on.
Yes, it wouldn't in that scenario. I don't care whether or not he's capable of doing it is a different thing of whether you just accidentally bump. You're not always thrashing around at full strength, are you? But anyway, because it doesn't just ring once, it rings for the rest of the scene.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's hit it hard.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
hard
no
enough
bell
that the Spider-Man has died. He's perished from head trauma. But anyway, it does the whole thing. And he's still trying to get naked, and bits are dripping off. And Eddie's like, Stephen. And he's getting bits, lands on his hoodie. He's like, no, be gone, hoodie. And then it just dripple, and picks him up for some reason.
Yes,
and
it then decides, it seems to decide, well, I'm going to leave Peter and go to Eddie.
Yes. And then he does a terrible screech. And that was even in 2007 where I went, oh no.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be a bad Venom. LiDAR, something happens. Later, Venom finds Sandy McSandface. It's like, we should team up and kill Spider-Man. As Topher Grace, not as Venom.
And at the same time that happens, Peter Parker goes to Harry. Oh no, because they then take... we should do
They then
Spider-Man.
kidnapped MJ, put her in a taxi for some reason, up in him. Because he pretends to be a taxi driver.
Reason number 7,064,064 that people should be working out that Peter Parker is at least involved is that every single scenario, MJ is being kidnapped. And it was pretty easy
Yeah,
to
but
probably
no
work
one
out.
expects her dad.
I imagine it'd be pretty easy at that point to just go, she keeps getting kidnapped. Maybe it's her boyfriend.
Only her boyfriend in this movie, though.
Yeah. I feel like you can still put that together.
Anyway.
Not necessarily. Because why would you not think it was then her fiance from the last
Well,
movie?
you might.
Or Harry.
Well, no, but the reason why is because he was there. They were at the same... Spider-Man and the fiance was there at the same time.
No one saw that, though.
You didn't see that.
Correct. That's my point. Anyway,
MJ taken hostage.
MJ taken hostage, held 80 stories with the worst. I don't know if this news reporter is actually British.
Or or an actress.
That's the other
Because
question.
some of her line delivery is terrible.
The brutality of it. I laugh every time I hear that. That's one of those, like, from the first movie, there's a lot of lines in particular that stick, the way they're said, how, and everything. This one's one of them. The brutality of it. Anyway, yeah, he goes, at this point, it goes to Harry. Like, she needs us, la-di-da.
This is
when the butler comes in and actually, finally, after 4 years, drops this information that could have been handy on day one.
Exactly. You'd have thought the butler, with Harry's
I'm sure
best
Harry
interest-
mentioned it. Spider-Man killed my father. You probably should have just gone,
Oh, no.
Something you need to know, mate. Because I love you and care for you, apparently.
something
As a
you need to
grandpa.
know. There's something you need to know, but I'm going to tell you in 4 years.
Yeah.
When you've had your face blown off.
Face blown off, dropped off a building.
Multiple heads injuries,
Multiple heads injuries.
including being hit in the head with a floaty snowboard.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's like, she needs us. He's like, get out. But he's like, okay. That was a very quick conversation. No trying to convince at all. Just absconds, as he does. Venom has taken the time to leave a note in the Venomy webness. Spider-Man,
Pure art and craft.
wherever,
there.
if you stop us if you can or whatever. Because he actually went full on Spider-Man logo at that point. He didn't just write Spider-Man. He
Spider-Man logo.
He's obviously got the capability to be very good at arts and crafts because obviously he photoshopped all those pictures of Spider-Man.
That's true. The Spider-Man logo, not even this franchise, because it's just the PS3 font.
I was going to say, because it's 2007, this film.
Yes.
Which is the same year the PS3 launched.
I mean, this has been the font since 2002, but
Yeah, but it's like...
arguably the PlayStation font was the Spider-Man font.
But it is, exactly. It was just like how much Sony liked this property and seemed to think there's money. Like, we'll make our big PlayStation 3 use the same font.
Yep.
Marketing. That was their approach to marketing with the PS3.
Didn't work.
No.
Although this was the highest grossing one. You have an update available. It's probably Monterey, don't do it.
I have many updates. I rarely do them just in case. Mac maintenance is not my forte.
No, but I think at this point, with the issues you are having with your machine, Monterey will murder it and burn your house down in the process, probably.
Perfect. Just what I need.
There is a horrifically Americanized section of Spider-Man coming in front of
when
the
he
American
arrives
flag.
and just lands in front of the flag, I watch that and go, fuck off. Just like, oh, shut up, for the love of Christ. Go away, you America. Anyway, that's the most out-of-place shot in this entire movie of out-of-placeness. Swings and everyone turns row by row to see what's going on. They don't all just turn around. It's, this person's turned around. I'm going to turn around. They've just turned around.
Wave of turning around.
Yes, exactly. And I'm surprised by the time it got to the very back that Spider-Man wasn't already there. And largely bollocks because everyone turns around and then he comes around a corner. Like, what the fuck were you looking at beforehand? Just a particularly colourful bird or something.
Maybe they could just hear the sound of the thwipping.
How loud is the thwipping? Surely that's
Very.
damaging to his little spider ears if it's just like thwip like the entire time. But anyway. He arrives.
He does.
Fights take place. It doesn't go well.
No.
Mary Jane drops a cinder block on Venom's head. He's like, you cost me my girlfriend by revealing to the world that I photoshopped a picture and she just decided to leave me. I will retaliate in the only justifiable way and with murder. You
And also,
petulant
I don't
7-year-old.
think that Pete was necessarily the reason, but yeah. Anyway, Harry then arrives.
Well, Peter gets some 7 shades of fucked
Oh
up.
yes, yeah.
I don't know why 7. 50 shades of fucked up is what I should have said. And this is where the brutality of it comes in because he's being punched, like strangled by Venom and punched.
By Sam.
And this is what I mean by 50 shades of fucked up.
Yeah.
He's getting strangled and fisted. Good Lord.
Oh no!
He's about to die. His hand does the fally down thing.
Again, reasons I can't show my son's friends.
That would be a conversation.
Yeah.
Please move on.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I even I had moved on. You brought me back. Han does the fally down thing as if, oh no, there's no life left.
Yeah.
Then Harry shows up by putting a grenade in Sandy McSandface's ear. Mm-hmm. It seems like a particularly rude place to put it. If you. Anyway, he shows up, says, "You came just in time by the looks of things. A couple of minutes earlier wouldn't have been so bad."
Funny line.
It was a funny
good. I
line.
like that line.
It was a good line. It was a good line. There's also the hang on to what? I enjoyed that as well. But other than that, not much to go on here. Swingy, punchy, grenade, missiles. He uses missiles very late into the fight. Lead with missiles. If you have missiles, lead with missiles.
I did like the idea that he had the flamethrower bit and that turned him into glass.
Yeah, I
was
think
quite
that's
clever.
supposed to be what happened with the missiles as well.
Yeah, but
because
that was just done.
and then he just fell down. If you were Harry at that point, you would have gone, I probably should have led with that. We could have avoided a lot of being punched if I led with the missiles, because that seems to have done the trick.
Don't.
Just don't.
Just
don't.
don't. Let's just hope it was in reference to the film. Well,
Anyway,
yeah. Once Sandman's
then
down,
Sandman is down. They're then focusing on Venom.
Steve.
Steve and Harry are focusing on Venom. Something sounded. Oh, the poles fall down.
Yes.
And then he's all like, noise. Then he clocks.
Stop it! Everybody, stop it! Right. Carry on. Sound. Yes. It creates a sound cage.
Yes, he does all the things and the duh. Then it's all like, then he pulls out Eddie. Oh no, he's about to be murderized.
Yeah.
And then with now a spiky snowboard. But then Harry jumps in at the last moment.
Yes.
He takes a very long time to react.
Yeah.
Peter, or Steve, takes a very long time to react.
Harry falls and hits his head some more.
He hits his head some more, but now he's got two gaping holes in him as well. So just, I love how Mary Jane's a few floors below and you just hit it, and you're like, oh. All right, Steve. But then does the sound cage, pulls out Eddie, uses snowboard to force summon a grenade. Okay. Surely that's not entirely motion censored, otherwise there'll be a lot of grenades flying everywhere as you do trickery on the floaty McSnowboard. And grenade into the sludge. Eddie's like, no! Jumps in and then gets obliterated.
Jinx.
That was way more creepy than the high scenario. High was the logical response. Obliterated was not anywhere near an obvious.
But he got obliterated.
He did get obliterated, but I could have said eviscerated. I could have said anything. Demolished. Skeletorized.
Annihilated.
I don't think
Annihilated.
skeletonized is a thing.
It is now.
Okay, cool.
C to the kitty and skeletorized. There we go. While he knows his friend is downstairs with two gaping holes through the chest from Spiky McSnowboard, he has a preceding long, slow conversation with Sandy McSandface about why Sandman murdered his uncle. I was like, I don't care. You were
right now
and
dying.
he's always playing. He was playing this off as this was a terrible accident. Oh no, you were in a scenario where you were holding a gun on an elderly man. It doesn't matter if you accidentally pulled the trigger. This scenario doesn't happen to most people because they're not usually holding a gun at an elderly man. But it plays it off. And Steve, at this point, is just like, I forgive you, as opposed to breaking his sandy spine. And then he floats in. This is the most absconding you've ever seen.
He becomes the absconder.
The most absconding I've ever seen in my life.
That's fair.
And he's just, I forgive you. Doesn't say, not a thank you, not an anything, just sand. And then he's gone. Then finally he goes, I'm going to check on my corpse of a friend right now. And then this is not the first time when we've had the cheese line. It's like, you're my friend. Best friend. Like an episode of the fucking Sesame Street.
The Sesame Street.
Oh, I get it.
It's kind of leading into in-betweeners as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, friend. But does all of that. And then funeral. Does it go straight to the funeral?
Well, you get this really strange panning shot. Not a panning shot, like tracking shot of the camera zooming in on the sunset of the silhouette of Spider-Man and Mary Jane sitting over their dead friend.
Oh, yeah. It's meant to be like, happy time, sunset, yeah. Or sunrise at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, just corpse. like
Morning
probably,
friend's corpse.
I think...
Morning.
I think number one on the list of how to ruin a good view is a corpse. I think there is nothing that could ruin a view more other than multiple corpses. I think that would be up there. But hey, what do I know? Maybe it adds to a view. Who knows? But anyway, then we get funeral. This is what I hate about 2000s movies. They just had to have everyone from the movie
there.
at the funeral.
Raining.
Why were Captain Stacy and Gwen Stacy at the goddamn funeral? They never interacted with Harry once.
Interesting. Flash was there as well. Hannah pointed that out, and I didn't clock that at all. That's such a random.
I've always noticed he was there. I just completely, obviously, I hadn't finished watching the movie at that point.
Yeah, I didn't.
So I
clock that at all.
completely forgot. Yeah, he was there. He became a corpse mid-view, but that was with Black Panther.
Hannah's just asking about Black Panther.
With Black Panther, but that was the point. He wanted to go and see the view as he died, so that was a bit more acceptable. This was it just so happens to be sunrise at this point, and your friend has died. I also never understand in the movies. I'm going to go get help. No. What do you mean no?
He's ready to die.
I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather a medical professional comes in. It could be just a plaster.
He is also Spider-Man.
Tis but a fresh
He is Spider-Man. He can nip to ground level and get assistance pretty fucking swift.
Not even that. He can take you with him.
Yes, yeah, that as well. I mean,
but
internal
it's not
bleeding
necessarily
might,
best to move someone in that scenario.
Yeah.
But he could just hop down, doctor, cool.
Yeah.
The other thing with the funeral bit, I couldn't see rain on Steve's side, whereas I could see rain on MJ's side. I don't know whether that was just an odd thing that I kind of...
I don't know.
It's just,
but raindrops keep falling on my head.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. This one is mourning more because they have rain.
I have only ever once been in the strange scenario where here it's raining, here it is not. It was really weird.
Yeah, it blew my mind. I don't think I could process that if I was experiencing it.
It was really weird.
In the house the other day where out the
No,
front...
it's not supposed to happen in your house.
No.
That's a plumbing issue.
You've got a leak.
Out the front was rain and out the back wasn't. Out the back was
Hail.
dry.
Anyway, there's then the funeral.
No, but
And then there's more things. It doesn't end
not
on
much
the
actually, because it's MJ singing at the bar. So she's obviously.
Oh
gone
yeah,
back
and he
she's
shows
okay.
up.
So Camilla pointed this out as well. She's very unprofessional because every time he shows up at one of her shows, she just fucking stops performing.
Yeah.
There's a weird effect that they do for everyone stopping singing, and they turn the volume down. Like clearly in like post they
Quick, get
they
on the
don't
mixer.
hard cut, which is how people stop.
Yeah.
They hard cut. There isn't a People don't just descend volume when they've noticed something. They stop. And it's really weird because then there's the weird echo, and the echo and the reverb was the exact same to someone not singing into a microphone into an empty theatre as it was singing into a microphone in a full club or bar. And you're just like, that sounds wrong. As clearly you weren't singing at all, and someone has got the little Adobe volume thing and just gone descend as opposed to cut it off. It's meant to stop here. And like in the play at the beginning when she realised, or earlier in the film at least, probably 9 hours in at this point, I can't remember, where
It is for us.
yeah, where the singing, look, the piano and the vocals stop at the same time, but then the pianist goes, "Oh, so why did you stop? Did you have an itchy knee? Why did you stop?" But anyway, irrelevant things. What happens? Oh, you're singing at the bar. I was like, I'm through with love, and then Peter shows up and goes, actually,
I'm okay now.
I have
less
abs
sticky.
and webby powers.
And that's it. The end. It was a sudden end as well. It was just like, oh, okay.
Spider-Man 3.
Done.
Largely a piece of trash.
In the books.
Largely a piece of trash. But we can decide what's worse, this or The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in 2 weeks' time.
Again, it was fine.
They're all fine. They're all acceptable. Well, no, they're not all fine. I mean, all the rubbish ones are fine, is what I meant.
Yeah.
But
Some
not
of them are
even
better
slightly
than
more.
fine.
Yes, just about. Just about. Does anybody have anything else to add about Spider-Man 3?
I really didn't enjoy my time with this film, and I wanted to. So it's weird that watching back these films, I couldn't remember as well as I thought. Spider-Man 1, you know, I was like, yeah. Spider-Man 2 was like, yeah. This one was just, if someone said to me at some point, do you fancy watching Spider-Man 2? I'd be like, yeah, all right, we'll watch Spider-Man 2. Someone said to me, do you fancy watching Spider-Man? Yeah, all right. Spider-Man 3? No.
Yeah.
Do you fancy watching Spider-Man 3? Leave my house.
Yes. Like, pass. I understand why Charlie prefers to do what he prefers to do.
And why I was left with this one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I
Thanks,
just
mate.
did not enjoy my time watching this film. It was very long, very slow. All I want to do is be doing anything else. Because all of these incoherent plot points which clash over each other, it's trying to do too much. It doesn't follow on anything very well. None of the characters are likable at all. So you can't even latch on to anyone or want to follow anyone. It's incredibly cringeworthy so often. Yeah. And it just, it's...
The worst.
It's real bad. And again, I've thought this with every one of these Spider-Man films, watching them so far, but it really hammered home to me watching this one of like how happy I am, how much it's changed, and where we're beside Spider-Man now. Because again, fight me, Tom Holland is by far the best.
Absolutely. How am I meant to give you that? Why just me? Surely it would at least be like an hour a piece from me and Kristian. It's just because
by the way, I had no input in this being a series, so you can't blame me.
That's fine.
Also, we have said countless times, you don't have to watch the films.
I didn't with two.
We do give you a very accurate plot
So you
rundown.
skipped the best one.
I know. That was just because it was a manic week.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
It is your show, Jack.
Yeah.
Well, next week begs to differ
Oh, yes.
because I'm not on it.
Admit one without Jack.
I will probably watch the movie though.
Okay, I watched a 5-minute recap before the stream. You didn't need to. We did the recap over an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think you'll find it was perfect.
Do you have anything to... Hooray! Hooray! Get to fuck! What?
Just... You thought you were going to say something worse.
He
I buy none of
mistyped. It autocorrect changed it somehow.
I buy none of it. I buy none of it. Expect to see a particularly suspiciously human-shaped turd in the...
Oh, sorry.
in the post.
How unprofessional.
Rich, you'll need to give me his address.
Okay. I mean, it'll be down at Christmas, so you can give him one personally.
Am I the one per show? No, it's not that. We haven't got there yet.
George is in
We
the
haven't
chat.
got to the point of me calling an audience member a one per show. And I would like to think that will never happen.
Granted, not on a show, but I call George it regularly.
That is why we brought Charlie into the team.
Yeah.
To avoid us calling an audience member the one.
I'm not going to hold a poo for you.
Send it to Rich to hold on for me. Anyway, do you have anything else to add, Richard, about
No,
Spider-Man 3?
Fine, but yeah, I could have been playing Far Cry.
I do apologise because I want you to play Far Cry.
Hey, we'll talk about that in about 5 minutes, maybe 10.
Maybe 1? No.
I think you're underestimating how long it takes me to do the rigmarole.
You haven't started yet.
Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, no, you were going to say something.
Do you have anything others to say?
No, because
rigmarole!
it will be, if I start saying more things, it will be one of those things of I've latched onto something too specific and I have a real issue with it. We'll be here for a week.
Okay, right.
This is Admit One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. If you like what you're doing and what you're doing is watching us, you can follow us on Twitter at rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube where you can see us anytime that you wish. You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can subscribe and follow on multiple different podcast services on and around the internet.
Indeed.
And now you can follow us on Instagram at rabbithole_media_UK and on TikTok at rabbithole_media. Microphone sex occurring for all the behind the scenes tits and bits. If you would like to support us and would like to get yourself a Seat of the Kitty t-shirt, head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk for a wide range of merchandise that recently got wider. And finally, if you are if you're watching us live on Twitch and are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month. Please find it within your hearts to give that membership to us. It doesn't cost you a penny. It goes a very long way in helping us bring you the shows that you love. And Kristian, what is the things?
If you get us to 10 active subscribers here on Twitch, we will be making our scripted high production value rundown, analysis, and reenactment of the Spider-Man Sam Raimi trilogy. We're deadly serious about this. We have plans and we've got proof of the plans on the way. If you've not subscribed before but consider doing so, now is the best time, as you'll be getting content and you will get it exclusively early as well. So please do consider it. It's going to be the best thing we've ever done.
I agree. I'm very excited. And we are only like 3 away.
Yeah.
So there's not that many, not that many left. Not that
I'm
many
fearful
left to get.
that we're going to get the mark.
You're fearful that we will hit the mark. You'll love it. You'll love it because I even think we make. We don't need to have this conversation on it. Coming up, of course, we will be going straight into Press Start, our weekly gaming podcast, with all 3 of us once more gracing your screens. But never fear, because I don't host Press Start. It'll be a lot less of me waffling on. That's always a reason to stay.
But big week this week. Not much news, but a lot of just games to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will be having plenty of conversations. So actually, I will be talking a lot. I'm sorry, I just lied to you. Coming up on the channel, however, on Tuesday, we will be back to finish off the Rush Hour trilogy to talk more about the yes, largely. Praise be Jesus, because we are finishing off the Rush Hour trilogy. I've enjoyed talking about them, though.
This is the most problematic one we're about to get into.
Is it really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh dear. But it's fine because we don't repeat those jokes. So our conversation is not so.
Can.
Well, not without prison time, I don't think. Yes, of course, Tuesday we will be finishing off the Rush Hour trilogy for more Admit One. Thursday we will be here to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game. We think. I assume. I can go another time. I'm going to have to drive anyway because I don't. I asked them, I was like, when are you coming back? And they went, I don't know. I was like, you've just asked me to book time off work for this. I need to know when I'm coming back.
Hopefully soon, Caden.
When are you doing Scott Pilgrim? I want to have a conversation that relates to Scott Pilgrim anyway. Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game. Next week, next Saturday, we will be doing The Amazing Spider-Man. However, I will not be here. But I'll write in some comments for you to read.
Please do.
And I will check.
What? If I read the comments?
Yes.
Of course I'll read the comments.
But I will write something up so my presence can be felt. And I
don't want to feel your presence.
I will try. I probably won't do this, but it seems like a funny idea now, but it just seems time consuming. I will try and put forward in text my mannerisms that I would be using
Okay.
as direction.
Excellent. I get to impersonate Jack for an evening.
I mean,
Just get Jeremy Clarkson on
the
instead, it's
one,
fine.
mate. If we could do that, do you think we'd be asking for 10 subscribers?
It's fair. Oh God, no.
Someone took a
Hannah.
picture of me the other day, and I did look like Jeremy Clarkson. It was quite.
We not 100%, but we may be carrying on the Back for Blood series as well.
Oh no, I absolutely want to do that.
Yeah. But we need to check with Sammy and also Saf as well to see.
Yes, as
'Cause
to
that's
when we
been a
can
lot of
do
fun.
that. It has been.
We'll talk about that a bit later.
Thoroughly enjoying that. And after that, I don't remember because the Tuesday after that, we are not continuing as usual.
It will be Passion Films. We've not yet established how and what for Passion Films we are doing, I believe.
Indeed. Because I need
And
to...
a Tuesday after that, it won't be. Tuesday after that is when you and I are going to see Bullet for My Valentine.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Tuesday will not be business as usual, is what I meant by that.
We'll establish that at that time.
Exactly. We will next week. Further plans will be given out, but obviously stick around as we will be going into Press Start imminently. Thank you very much for joining us in the chat. Hope you stick around. Thank you everybody for talking about this existing movie. That I'm really sorry for making you guys watch this.
That's all right. Bye.